Hi, I am Chad Hable from UniSA Education Futures, and this is a short video to introduce you to the Careers Compass project, give you a bit of an overview, where it came from, some of the thinking behind it, and what we're hoping to achieve in it. So this project runs off a track record of UniSA Education Futures working in schools for over a decade on the Career Awareness Program, which is a program delivered to Year 10 students where UniSA mentors, who are pre-service teachers in the School of Education at the University of South Australia, go out to Year 10 students and meet with them one-to-one to talk about their personal proclivities, interests, directions, and how that might match with the world of career. Last year, the university was awarded a grant by the National Careers Council to develop this further. And this aims to extend the Career Awareness Program to years 6 to 9, combining facilitated UniSA mentor facilitated workshops, a little bit similar to what happens with the Career Awareness Program, with the development of units of work for teachers to adopt throughout those years as well. This is an innovative approach in careers education, primarily or partly primarily because it's about working with students at much younger year levels. Career development usually happens from year 10 to year 11 to year 12 and tends to be a little bit shall we say, linear. So it's innovative in a number of ways. Now, in what ways is it innovative? So traditional careers education tends to be a little bit like this Richard Scarry kind of approach. What do you want to be when you grow up? You have items like a magician, tennis player, lawyer, violinist, miner. Do you want to be a policeman, fireman, nurse, teacher? These kinds of approaches. So the idea here being that people of Busytown have many different jobs. Is there a job you would like to have when you grow up? This tends to be the kind of approach to careers education in the past. And it worked okay in the past. It would then, the actual activities would focus on things like identifying career paths and matching your skills and talents to them, but then things like writing CVs, doing interviews, and then developing technical skills for industry. So if you want to be an engineer, let's work on your maths. If you want to be a nurse, let's work on your biology, for example. This is based on a pretty old school approach to careers, which is based on linear career trajectories, relatively high rates of employment, and relative certainty in the job market. You could be pretty sure that if you finished school with these grades, you could go to university and do this degree and get a job in this way, have a mortgage, have a family, retire happily. Unfortunately, the future ain't what it used to be. Things are very different now already, and things are likely to be much more different into the future. So what does this look like? Well, I thought about my career in terms of a linear trajectory. What happened was actually something quite different. What's really interesting here, I think, is that even people who are in their mid or later careers, like myself, may have had a very non-linear trajectory in their career, but we kind of apply a sort of retrospective coherence to tell it as a linear trajectory, to tell our career stories as linear, even when they were completely non-linear. So we have this assumption and expectation that careers are linear, but a reality that they're radically non-linear. What do we do about that? Instead of this linear, predictable, fairly easy to handle future, the future is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And this is not in any one industry, and it's not just in careers, it's in the whole world. Every industry, every sector, business leaders, educational leaders, political leaders everywhere are dealing with the volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity of the future. So you may have, rather than a doctor or nurse, you may have the authenticity consultant who aligns brand values with consumer beliefs. You may have the category disruptor who subverts industries by delivering superior products and services at lower costs through unexpected channels. You can see what's going on here. This is adopting the kind of the lingua franca of kind of most postmodern career trajectories in interesting ways. Here's my favorite. The rideshare partner is a successful independent contractor participating in the work-on-demand revolution, which empowers individuals and will definitely still be around when self-driving cars become legal 3 years from now. So this last one in particular really addresses this question of the future of work, the uncertainty, the volatility, and the fact that the research says that the idea is that some jobs may not be around, but that almost all jobs will change radically. So what do we do with that? The Foundation for Young Australians in their New Work Mindset and New Work Reality reports say the future of work is uncertain, but our skills are more portable than we realise. So how do we prepare young people for such a future? We have the answer in this project. The curriculum design of the project is all enacted within a detailed scope and sequence which brings together the National Career Development Framework, or the Blueprint, the SA Department for Education's Career Learning Strategy, the ACARA Framework, or the National Curriculum, and detailed consultation with industry experts and schools. So in particular, it is designed to align with the curriculum directions and curriculum needs of schools themselves. As well as this, the iterative development process means that we prototype early, we try something early, we test it, we get a lot of feedback, and then we iterate and develop from our learning based on that prototyping phase. So the starting point for this is personas. In 2021, the project lead Simon Leonard visited the Seven Siblings, an interactive mod exhibit that looks a little bit like this. Excuse me, I'm going to bounce through to the video to show you what it looks like. So just on his weekend, Simon was going along and having a look at this and found this exhibit. So this was a live exhibit in the Museum of Design on North Terrace, and this is what the exhibit looks like. The idea is that we're 50 years into the future, and we're meeting some people who live in the future. So this here is Ava. She's a genetically engineered astronaut. Will we all be genetically engineered astronauts? Here's another one, Julia. And so the exhibit developed videos like this.
Oh, I thought you were one of my siblings. I don't need them to tell me I'm being overcautious. But it's all good. They can't find this place. It's very well hidden.
So you get the idea. The idea here is fully developed personas to represent what the future may look like. Julia there is a survivalist working on food technologies out in the woods, focusing around issues to do with environment and sustainability, and this is conveying the concept of what happened in the future. So Simon went along and saw this Seven Sibling project and thought, what if we could do this in career education? What if students could learn about such personas in the world of work and role play these characters to enhance their career thinking skills? So how are we developing these personas? They are based on the Foundation for Young Australians career clusters. So the research here suggests that there are over 1,000 different occupations in Australia. Rather than trying to grapple with that complexity, their work clustered these occupations into 7 career clusters. Things like the artisans, which are jobs that require skill in manual tasks, or perhaps the technologists, which are jobs that require skilled understanding and manipulation of digital technology, or for example, the carers cluster, jobs that seek to improve the mental or physical health or well-being of others. So the idea is we take these career clusters and we develop, for each one of these clusters, we develop a persona, which is a full creative elaboration of what someone living and working in that cluster might look like. So they're fully realized characters, a bit like we saw in the video just now. So as a part of the project, we develop artwork, writing, comics, posters, that are all used to convey this authentic sense of character and give students the idea that, this idea of the portability of skills across different careers. So the idea being that in the activity, by identifying with the persona, students feel more able to take risk and learning outside of their comfort zone, so that they can get into the mind of that persona a little bit more and try things that they normally wouldn't try. Maybe develop some resilience through challenge that they normally wouldn't feel comfortable with doing if they were just playing as themselves. So this is a kind of a very early draft of what this looks like. G'day, I'm Sheila, the artisan. I've had loads of different jobs in my life, but I really like working with my hands, Wasn't really very good at school. I couldn't sit still for long enough, but when they got me to build something or take something apart, I really enjoyed it and did well. Based on these personas, we then develop a scenario-based playful learning approach where students are given a scenario that's authentic to that persona and activities that are help them develop the kinds of skills that they would need if they were in that career cluster or filling that persona. So, for example, artisans are tasked with building a show ride using Lego as a material in the Seven Wonders theme park. So we have this Seven Wonders theme park where each persona is working and can do a task that's relevant to their career cluster and the skills that we're trying to develop for them. UniSA mentors or pre-service teachers facilitate this scenario. So they act as a kind of a moderator, facilitator, a bit of a prompt by adjusting tasks, giving new tasks, prompting, giving feedback, and adjusting levels of challenge appropriate to the work that's kind of ongoing. So it's a very fluid, dynamic form of group facilitation. At the end, students then capture and reflect on their learning, aligned with the kinds of outcomes we were thinking about, and they're given access to further resources to learn about the careers that they're learning about there. All of this is enacted within a detailed scope and sequence which brings together the National Career Development Framework with all the other frameworks we were talking about to achieve specific outcomes as defined by the project's curriculum design. So the outcomes we hope to develop, we will develop, are full workshop materials for years 6 and 8 facilitated by UniSA mentors, a series of units of work that can be used or adapted by teachers in years 7 and 9, a suite of creative products, posters, images, comics, possibly including an app that convey the personas as a basis for this work, and then direct people to further resources on careers, and then potentially other things that may be emergent outcomes from this project. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate your time. If you're interested, join us. Join us on the journey. Talk to us. See how you can get involved. Feel free to email myself or Simon, the project lead, or Kim or Mel, who are also working on the project. You may know one of us through any of your variety of contacts. Feel free to get in contact with us and continue the conversation. Thanks for watching. It's been really great introducing you to Careers Compass. Thanks. Bye.